What a night! Group K has finally delivered its verdict. And folks, it did not go the way anyone in Lisbon was hoping for. Colombia and Portugal walked into a sweltering Miami stadium with the top spot on the line. 64,000 fans roaring in the stands. And after 90 pulsating minutes plus stoppage time drama, the scoreline read 0-0. But don't let that flat scoreline fool you. This was anything but boring. This was Colombia announcing themselves as genuine contenders, and it was Portugal, yet again, looking like a team that simply cannot find a way to make all that individual brilliance click as one unit. Let's start with how both sides lined up, because the team news tells its own story. Roberto Martinez sent out Portugal in a familiar shape. Diogo Costa in goal, a back four of Nuno Mendes, Renato Veiga, Ruben Dias, and João Cancelo, with Vitinha and Ruben Neves controlling the midfield. Ahead of them, João Felix, Bruno Fernandes, and Pedro Neto supported the captain, the one and only Cristiano Ronaldo, leading the line. On paper, that's an embarrassment of riches. On the pitch tonight, it looked like a collection of brilliant individuals still searching for chemistry. Colombia, on the other hand, looked like a team that knows exactly who they are. Néstor Lorenzo kept faith with Camilo Vargas in goal, a backline of Santiago Arias, John Lucumi, Davinson Sanchez, and Diva Machado, with Jefferson Luma and Gustavo Puerta holding things together in midfield, and John Arias buzzing around to support the front two of Luis Diaz and John Cordoba, with a legendary James Rodriguez pulling strings as captain. This Colombia side came into the match unbeaten, full of confidence off back-to-back wins, and they played like it. And my goodness, did they play like it. From the very first minute, Cordoba was testing Diogo Costa, heading one narrowly over the bar before the game had barely settled. Colombia's intensity set the tone early, and it never really let up. John Arias was a constant menace down the right, and in the 17th minute he set Cordoba away for a rocket of a shot that had the entire stadium on its feet. Portugal were hanging on, and that's not a sentence anyone in Portuguese football wants to hear in a must-win group decider. Now let's talk about the man everyone came to see. Cristiano Ronaldo, 41 years old, 2 goals in his last outing against Uzbekistan, walking out onto that pitch with the weight of an entire nation's expectations on his shoulders. And honestly, it just wasn't his night. He was booed every single time he touched the ball by that sea of yellow shirts, and the service he so desperately needed simply never arrived. One shot all game, a long-range free kick straight down the throat of the goalkeeper. That's it. That's the entire return for the greatest goalscorer the international game has ever seen, on a night when his team needed him most. And look, as a football fan, it's hard to watch this and not start asking the big question. Is this it? Is this the moment we start having the conversation about Cristiano Ronaldo and international football? Because the uncomfortable truth is this. When Portugal absolutely needed a spark, when they needed their captain to drag them over the line against a Colombia side playing out of their skin, he simply wasn't able to impose himself. Starved of service, isolated up top, a shadow of the player who tore Uzbekistan apart just days earlier. At some point, Father Time catches up with even the very best, and watching him cut an increasingly frustrated figure as the chances dried up, you do start to wonder whether this World Cup, win or lose from here, should be the curtain call on an extraordinary international career. It feels almost unthinkable to even type those words, but tonight's performance is exactly the kind of evidence that fuels that debate. It wasn't all doom and gloom for Portugal, though. Bruno Fernandes had arguably the best chance of the first half, found himself completely free in the 39th minute, only for a magnificent point-blank save from Camilo Vargas to deny him. 3 minutes before the break, João Felix produced a moment of pure quality, chesting the ball over a defender before unleashing an acrobatic volley that flew agonizingly over the bar. There were flashes of class. There just wasn't enough of them, and there definitely wasn't enough cohesion tying it all together. The numbers backed up exactly what we were seeing on the pitch. Colombia finished with more shots, created the better chances throughout the night, and forced Diogo Costa into several important saves, while Portugal struggled to consistently test Camilo Vargas despite enjoying spells of possession. It was a game where Portugal had the ball at times, but Colombia looked far more dangerous whenever they surged forward. The scoreline stayed level, yet the statistics painted a picture of a Colombian side that edged the contest and fully deserved to finish top of Group K. The second half told the same story, just with the colors reversed in terms of who was dominant. Colombia kept coming. Richard Rios, on as a substitute, fired one wide after a lovely setup from Arias. Gustavo Puerta drilled another chance just off target. James Rodriguez, the conductor of this Colombia orchestra, kept probing and pulling Portugal's structure apart with that effortless quality we all know and love from him. This was a complete team performance from Colombia, disciplined out of possession, relentless with it, and absolutely deserving of top spot in this group. And then came the moment that nearly broke Portuguese hearts completely. Deep into stoppage time, Davinson Sanchez rose highest from a set piece and powered a header goalwards that looked, for one agonizing second, like the winner. The roar from the crowd was deafening, but the offside flag went up. VAR confirmed it after a nail-biting check, and Colombia were denied what would have been an utterly deserved victory. Rafael Leo, introduced from the bench, almost stole it the other way with a shot that flashed dangerously across the face of goal. But it wasn't to be. 0-0 it stayed. So what does it all mean? Colombia top Group K with 7 points, unbeaten, full of confidence, and they march on to face Ghana in the round of 32. Portugal finished second with 5 points, and now have to regroup quickly for a tricky clash against Croatia. On paper, Portugal have the talent to go all the way in this tournament. But tonight was further proof that talent alone doesn't win World Cups. They need their system to click, they need their captain firing, and right now, both of those things look like serious work in progress. For Ronaldo specifically, this has to sting. A player of his stature, on this stage, reduced to a peripheral figure for large stretches of a match this big. As a fan who has watched him for 2 decades, it's genuinely difficult to write this. But performances like tonight are exactly why the retirement conversation keeps getting louder. Maybe he proves everyone wrong again at this tournament. He's done it before more times than we can count. But if Portugal's run ends sooner rather than later, tonight might be remembered as one of the nights the cracks really started to show. That's the breakdown, that's the drama, and that's Group K wrapped up. Now I want to hear from you. Did Colombia prove they're genuine World Cup contenders tonight? Or was this simply another disappointing performance from Portugal? And one more big question. Should Portugal continue building around Cristiano Ronaldo? Or is it finally time to start looking toward the next generation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments because I'm genuinely curious to see where football fans stand on this debate. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more in-depth World Cup 2026 match reviews throughout the knockout stage, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.